Is the American dream dead or what? And today, CNN is talking about restoring the American dream and so on. And the American dream is basically the way I see it. You get a house, a car, nice job, and some money in the bank, health care and vacation, all that stuff. And you have different levels of that. Basic house might be 100,000, but you have the $1 million house with a $500,000 car, job paying 3 million a year, and you have like 5 million in the bank, and you could splurge and have big parties and all that. So you have different levels of the American dream. But basically, I think what has happened is that folks aren't serious with education. So individuals and the unions come up with a plan that perhaps if they get an increase in wages, folks would be able to afford a house or a car and so on. But little do they remember that when that increase comes, prices are going to go up again. So you're back to square one. Um, in sociology, they teach you that you have different levels of society. You got lower class. Some places you have lower, 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 upper lower, and lower, middle, middle, upper middle, and all that stuff. But bottom line is that what really happens is that when you move in and change your status, you want to have a real change and not just a fictitious change. Unions say, vote for me president, I get you more money, and you studying. If I get a bigger salary, I'll skip strata and I'll go into the middle class. But cost of living comes and chews it up, and it's back to square one again. All that's happening is that we're pricing ourselves out of the market because places like India and China, people work dirt cheap, Mexico, and everywhere you still have the same standard of living. In other words, low class in America is still low class in Mexico and still low class in India and in China. And all we have is a higher standard of low class. You see what I'm saying? Like minimum wage is what? Let me say $8 an hour. But in Mexico, the minimum wage might be $3 an hour. And the same things that one enjoy here, they might be able to enjoy over there. So the only way I think that folks should go for a raise is for a real change in a real wage. In other words, if you go and get an education and you go into a profession where you'll be making $60,000 to $80,000 a year, then you're comfortable in the middle class. You're cool. But to try to working as a laborer or a janitor and expect to get like $60 an hour to go into the middle class, low class men still consume and be $70 a day, still going to be in the low class. But education basically is not a discussion. But today we see the people who are becoming celebrities, be film stars, making big bucks, are some people that are stupid, they're doing dumb stuff, and they just have a 50 minutes and then take that 50 minutes into their life, and then they go up. So that folks in school see, well, shucks, I spend all this time, I have this PhD, and up comes this guy, fight with the police. Or like Snooki fight on TV, and they're big celebrities, they're making big money, they're making millions of dollars, which this person might not even be able to make in the whole lifetime of working. So here we have another problem. But in the educational realm, in the British system, and even with Zakaria and all these people on CNN come from, at 12 you need to decide what you want to do in life. If you don't have the abilities to go on to high school and to go on to university, you go and get a trade and you get a job. So that here in America, you find hanging around the corners a lot of guys. And they say, bro, why you not getting a job? They need people to pick corn. Oh, I'm a talented guy. I finished high school. I'm just waiting to go to college. And while he's waiting to go to college, he's picking up a whole bunch of felonies, pushing drugs or doing stupid stuff, hanging with the wrong people, gambling, and then bam, a couple of felonies, he's done. But he still thinks that he has this talent and he should go to university. Whereas in other countries, he would have gone straight on the farm and get a job and hope that the government could give him some food stamps to survive. And so, unless we weed out folks who don't really, really have the ability, but then again, white folks don't want all their kids to go to university, and then not every white person has the ability to go, but they make it that they go on, and so there you have a problem again. But we should say, in the country, people who have real ability, whether you're white, black, Indian, or whatever, you move up. And those who don't have, help us out by picking the corn, and so we would have less immigration problems and the whole 9 yards and so on. And so the American dream is not dead. What we just have to do is become real. And in this recession time, when things have sort of um, declined, because you know in economics you say there's a ratchet effect. When things go up, they don't come down. So when wages keep going up, they don't come down. But in this recession time, this could be a place where we could start over. Maybe when minimum wage could come back at $5 an hour, or $4 an hour, or $3 an hour. And I don't feel that, oh, I can't live on $3. Yeah, you'd be able to live just as how you're living on that $10 an hour, because everything, the price is going to come down. And $1 million would have real value. You know, you have a million, you really make it. See, that'd be like in terms now like a 10 billion, a 10 million or whatever. One would be, you know, good enough. It would be like 10. And our prices would be cheap again. We could compete with India and China, and our standard of living would improve. So these are some of the things I think would make a difference.